everybody, how y'all doing? You know, I was sitting here driving, something came in my mind, and I get this shit. You ever heard of the story about the rabbit and the turtle? And in the end, the turtle won, right? So let's kind of dissect it, okay? So, let's talk about the rabbit. Now the rabbit was quick, fast, strong. One may say that the rabbit was the best in the city. and the rabbit did have a mission to get it to that destination as quickly as possible. But unfortunately, the rabbit didn't do it. Now let's dissect the turtle. The turtle was slow, he was steady, but the turtle was focused. And regardless of who was talking about the turtle, regardless of who was trying to rush the turtle stayed at his own pace. And in the end, he won. So I say this to say this to you. Man, we all have abilities, we all have goals. We all have purpose in life. Very much true. But we all have our own destinations. And I put it like this: if God wanted us to do the same thing at the same time, it would look crazy. But that's the amazing thing about God, man. God created us all differently. So I say this, and I say this to you: be the turtle. You know, you could be 20 and be successful. You could be 30 and finally reach success. You could be 40 to be successful. You could be 50, 60, or so on. We all have our own pace. Go in your own pace. Ignore what everybody else is saying. Everybody else is sitting here telling you, you gotta do this and you gotta do that. Man, we all got one life to live. One. God only bless us with one life to live. It's up to you to however you want to be or whoever you want to be. As a matter of fact, you the one that's driving. Okay? You the one that's running that race. As a matter of fact, before I leave this video, I gotta share something real sweet. My grandmother is an amazing woman. Let's first throw that out there. But my grandmother had 14 kids. And even though she had 14 kids, my grandmother also wanted to expand her education. Now, when my grandmother first got pregnant, she was 19. And by the time she was done being pregnant, it was like her 30s. By the time she ended up graduating, she graduated towards the end of her 30s. With all of her kids in the sand, cheering her on. So as I got older, I asked my grandmother, I said, Grandma, like, how you do it? I mean, 14 kids? I mean, like, man, that's a lot. You know, how were you able to sit here and even reach, in the end, still reach the goal that you want to reach? And my grandmother, so kindly, so loving, and she shared with me, she said, sweetie, I just stayed focused and I stayed the course. And I didn't let nothing or anybody distract me. And so I say this to you: stay the course. Be the turtle. You don't have to be the rabbit. Trust me, I know a lot of rabbits. And if you look at them now, they are not doing the same thing that they were so anxiously trying to get to. But the ones that were the turtle, look at them now. Successful, doing amazing and wonderful things. As a matter of fact, not only did they reach the goal, they was able to they were able to maintain it. They were able to handle whatever pressure that came with it. And look at them now. They smiling. If you see my grandma right now, you be like, hey, mama, dad, how you doing? She have a beautiful smile on her face. So I say this to you, be the turtle. And as always, peace and love. Hey, before I leave, I'm going to say this. If nobody ever told you this, I'm going to tell you this. I love you. Okay?